Hi everyone, we've got another sketchbook tour. I know you guys are really keen on it, so I wanted to get this out as soon as possible. We did go through one a couple of weeks ago. It was this one, and as you can see, after I finished this one, I did upgrade my selection. So we're gonna look at this one today, and I am really excited to show you this one. As you can see, I chose something very fancy and it did end up wearing and tearing, but I somehow managed to keep the buckle on this one. As you can see, this one is holding on to dear life. There is a bit of pressure happening here. However, if we compare and contrast it to a future sketchbook,
this boy stands no chance.
I did a good job at attempting to keep this one in line. So without further ado, how about we just get into this and let's explore the brain of me during, I think this was just after I finished high school. Any of that sounds good? Just keep watching. This is going to get fun, this is going to get chaotic, and you know what to expect from me by this point. So let's just get into it. Also guys, you might want to grab some popcorn, maybe a tea, maybe a drink, because this is quite a big sketchbook. So if we open up the buckle here, with much struggle, as I said, this is holding on to dear life. This has 240 pages. This is a Paper Blanks brand, which I really recommend, but yeah, 240 pages. So buckle up guys, and let's just begin the tour, I guess. On the very first page, I have my charcoal drawing of the moon. I was not very good at this point, but I did not like this one, so I just shoved it in the front of the sketchbook and kind of tried to hide it, but also didn't want to have all that time wasted that I spent on it, so I just put it there with my name in Greek and my old phone number, so don't be ringing that because no one's going to be answering. Okay, just for reference again, 2018 is when I began this sketchbook. I was 18 years old. And this is the sort of stuff that I guess I was into at the time. You can see if you watch my first sketchbook tour, I have the yellow again. So that's an interesting thing already, I guess. But yeah, again, people seem to be a very, very common theme for me. And you will notice that the more that we go through these. I remember this particular drawing was inspired by a Murakami book. Very cool relationship between an old man and a cat. I wanted to capture forever, and yeah, some sort of writing. That's all writing in there. Some things are not, I don't have to explain. I don't feel like I need to explain her. I do like fantasy a lot, so you're going to be seeing a lot of that too. Morris is my teddy bear. In fact, let me quickly grab Morris. I have had Morris since I was 0 years old. He was my very first teddy. He's somehow still with us 22 years later, but for some reason I wanted to give him a moment here. I believe I was on holidays and I was restricted to what I could draw, so that is what I chose to do as a still life. We have different angles, different positions, but at the end of the day, they're all Morris. Amazons, some Greek writing about the Amazons. I thought, bit of character development here. I was not used to drawing original characters, and I really liked the way that I saw a lot of people on Instagram do it, so I tried to mimic it. It didn't feel natural. It just did not come to me like naturally to be able to draw different angles and for them to all be the same too, and to like it and to be happy with it. No. It just didn't happen, but I tried. I did try. More portraits. I believe some of these are references from Pinterest and others are just completely from my imagination. These are the aliens that I was talking about in my first sketchbook tour as well. They become very prominent. I don't know why. It's just something that came very naturally to me. This is all done with ballpoint pen, as well as these previous pages too. Just a regular ballpoint pen, a black one. That's what I had at school, and that's kind of what I kept using, except for here, where I used blue. But I did not like this. I can tell you that from now. I did not like how subtle it was. I like more significant sort of materials, which the blue really did for me. So the Cottage Dream, this one was a watercolor. I believe I just bought a new watercolor palette and I was having some fun with it. I've always wanted to just kind of escape into the wilderness and live in a cottage, so this was the cottage dream that I imagined for myself when I was 18 years old. And then some more designs of different cottages. In Greek, I'm writing exotika spitya mesto dasos, which means exotic houses inside the forest, and blah blah blah. A lot more writing, a lot more dreams. Copic markers. Okay, I obviously start to experiment a lot. I didn't expect to witness this. I have not gone through this sketchbook prior to filming this too, so I'm being surprised with you as we go along here. I did cover something up underneath here. I just checked to see if I can even flap it open. It was probably something disgraceful that I was not proud of. I used to do this a lot, cover them up. But yeah, I remember buying these Copics. These were the colors I was limited to. So I used them to my best ability. Here we have a cactus, well, a cactus lady. And here, I don't know. I don't know is going to become a very, very common sentence in this video. Again, je ne sais pas. Here are the aliens again. I remember really trying to explore how you can create something that's very subtle. Like there's not many elements to it, yet it creates such a feeling of longing and isolation. And I did feel that for this one. I don't know what this one is. I really don't know. And here we have more of that sort of thing. Playing around with Copics again over here. I did cover something up again. We can sneakily maybe see I've glued it on there. I did not want that to come off. I was not very proud of it. Again, this comes back to the ballpoint. I don't think I did this very often, but I tried to create a realism portrait just with that ballpoint pen. It's just such a fun medium. I do still use it today. I wish I used it a bit more, but it does remind me of my charcoal ways in a way, just like the monochrome and the circular blending. That's something that I still use today. Here's just some more darkish, edgy looking alien elf creatures. And in embryo, again, sort of in space, sort of in the womb. I don't really know. I just know that I wanted to create something that has feeling, and these characters did it for me. That was my number one thing. I just tried to express myself as much as possible, and these drawings kind of brought that out of me in a way that I couldn't with words. I do remember this being the first time I tried to do I think it was 100 faces challenge. I later on do achieve that, but I think it's in another sketchbook. I don't think, oh, it is in the sketchbook, okay. But I think we quit shortly after this. Again, these are all done in ballpoint. Yeah, I gave up straight away. Here's some more of these characters. Again, just isolation, desperation, kind of like limbo and the void. I remember being really proud of this one. I just liked the feeling that he had, and despising this one. Not very good at drawing side profiles. I didn't practice them enough, so I was never happy with what they look like. Partly why I wanted to practice doing the 100 portrait, yet obviously not committing to it. Again, these are all my own characters, just from my mind. They're very similar to each other. I didn't stray much from the pattern that I liked, the face that I liked to see. What are we saying here? Okay, this is a song. These are songs. For all my Greek people, you will probably recognize a lot of these things. Under the Blood Sky exposed to the raw of the inside, animals always within, veiled under masks of skin. I was very poetic at this age, still 18. I don't know, just I guess disappointed in people, in friends, in relationships, and already done with the world. The more eyes, the better. I've always had this saying, and this might be where I started to really try and understand the way bodies work anatomically. Because as you can see here, my way of drawing bodies was very simple. And hey, look at this foreshadowing of a sculpture. Interesting, very interesting, Demi, that you would come to later explore this in a bit more detail and depth. I've noticed I've done a lot of double spreads with these characters I can't even call them a character. Like, what makes this one unique to me and my style? Nothing really. There's no distinct facial features or anything in that matter, except for that it's just a bloody alien looking thing. So much reading, which I understand nothing of. Okay, this is when I was doing law. Oh, Statute of Common Law. Yeah, I was going absolutely mad. I was losing it. I just did not enjoy doing the law degree at all. It was coming across in my art. I remember at this time, I had no time at all to draw. So when I did get the opportunity to sit down and finally let it all out, this is the sort of stuff that would come out. Again, just sort of being desperate to be anywhere but where I was, I guess, just longing for that wilderness and that hunter and gatherer life that I seem to be so obsessed by. And something a bit different here too, a landscape. Oh my god, who is she? Who is this person? She's drawing a landscape? Nuts. And then I seemed to like that so much that I kept practicing. Copics. I remember I think this is where I discovered the skin tones and how pastel they were and how beautiful it was to create something so nice and pastel-y and, you know, not as vivid. And I tried to explore that with this character too. Again, these are all just from my mind. Ooh, I added little I don't know what these are called, but diamond things. They're 3D. I don't know if you can see them. Are they shining? They're not really shining. I added them for the stars. I don't know what they're called. There's a lot of words I don't know how to say in English. I'm mostly thinking in Greek. Crime act, undersection, show cause, offences, risk section. Oh my god. All law. My brain was just absolutely done for. A lot of these words are song lyrics that I write down too. So it's either that or I'm like full on ranting in the book. Chaos. Okay, so we've got our first chaos appearance, I think. 2018, I see. I did draw this one during a class, a law class. Yeah, just not the funnest. I remember this one was a challenge me and my mum did, drawing the same thing. I despised it. I tried to cover it all up with pen at the end. A hand study. The horror. The absolute horror. My current self is quite proud of the hands I can do now in comparison to this, but if I didn't start here, guys, where would I have started? It had to start somewhere. Nirvana lyrics, so edgy, so cool. So this is from the Rogan show. I used to watch a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts, so I would draw the people that he would talk to. And then this is Joe Rogan. I know it doesn't really look like him, but kind of. That's just a little bit it does. Those people. This was the first time I used thumbnails, so I practiced on a little scale how to do something big. I think I might have been inspired by drawing with waffles. You have surely seen her stuff if you are into sketchbooks and sketchbooking on YouTube. Drawing with waffles is just an absolute inspiration to me. At the time, I used to draw along to all her videos pretty much and just have company while I was alone in my room, I guess. I just wanted to draw along to someone, and that's the person I chose. Some more sad looking people. Very crouchy, bad posture, and just not the best. Not in the best place. Again, rule of law. Still practicing hands, I see. Another sort of stylized ballpoint pen drawing. I remember being very proud of this, very proud. And it kept going. This was pencil, so a bit more pencil here. I believe actually this was the present for my mum. She bought me Prismacolor pencils, and this was the first time I was trying them out. And I was very, very excited to be playing with color, but also color that wasn't very vivid. Just sort of the pastel side, because strong colors scare me. Again, I used those colored pencils in the hair here. So experimenting again with color, but in combination with the ballpoint pen. Again, all of that, I can see it looks quite light, but it's scribbles of the pen that end up making that smooth look. It's weird, but I sort of managed to achieve it, and the same thing happened here too. You'll see that evolve even more. Muay Thai, I believe this is when I got into kickboxing in maybe the end of 2018. I started going to martial arts gym, and I really got into Muay Thai and boxing. I don't remember what materials this is. I think it's a bit of a mixed media. Watercolors, I think pencil and markers combined. These were all prompts. I remember doing prompts with my mum. We were like generating them online and just seeing what we can come up with. And I remember this one being a red vixen. The rest I've got no recollection of at all. More unhappy study. I don't know if you can read that upside down. If you can, wow, you're so amazing. You're doing really well. But yeah, just not very happy. This was me during uni. I was not very happy. So I guess I should kind of tell you, my first year of uni was in 2018, and I did a straight degree of law in my first year. I didn't end up liking it, so I dropped down to just a creative arts degree. I lasted, I think, 6 months in the creative arts before I also gave up on that, because it just wasn't what I expected it to be. I wanted to go in there and learn how to draw like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and I left with being taught how to draw squares of color. So it was not slapping in the right place, and what I ended up doing after that was starting my own business. But we will talk about that as it comes. More Copics here. A lot of naked people. I did not like drawing clothes. I can tell you that with confidence. I did not like drawing clothes. Bit of chess. I love chess so much, and I think we were playing it as a family a lot at this time with my mum, my brother and dad, and it inspired me to draw some of our chess pieces. More body studies here. Oh shit. Okay, so this is when I started working in the deli. I can see here I've got corn silver slide, 8 slices, beef brawn, bit thinner. Absolute madness again. As I said, these are reflections of my mind and what I was going through at the time, and yeah, you can see what really sticks in there. Unfortunately, it wasn't positive things, so this was my way of coping, I guess. Heisenberg, I think after the second time watching Breaking Bad, so my brother has seen it. More kickboxing stuff. Oh my god, that is so anatomically wrong. It hurts. It hurts, Demi. More settings like this. I did go back to that sort of style here with a teeny little character just down the bottom for a spice of life in this vast landscape. This might be where I started getting tattoos. I was sort of planning them. Just don't do it. Some more body shots. This is where my obsession with spiders sort of began. And I remember I got new markers as well that I wanted to try out. I hope you guys are ready for more, because this is only like halfway, I think. We've got double this. Anyone but fucking Bran. Oh, okay, this is when we watched Game of Thrones. Yeah. Okay, this is where we got into the 100 portraits in 10 days challenge. I did complete it this time. So let's see the evolution of portraits that I got to do and the sort of style that it went in, because I do remember it changed. So let me just quickly show you. I think I was trying to fit 4 portraits a page. Oh, there's a sneaky one. So 5 in that one. but this was just done with pencil. All of them done with pencil. If you guys have done the challenge yourselves, a lot of these faces will be familiar. I would probably want to do this again. I would love to do this again, actually. And I might film the entire process of that. If you guys are interested, please let me know. I'll do it as a YouTube video, but it can just be a challenge, I guess. I have become a lot quicker at drawing faces because I've kept it up since this age, and I'm now 22. So this is where we can see a style change after being a bit more strict and I would say scared with the lines. I mean, look at how simple this one is, and then this just looks stylized. This becomes more like my style, I guess. Bit more rough, but dynamic. I found it became more dynamic. And again, I kept that theme. I remember being really happy with some of these and really not happy with others, but you've got to have that balance, I guess. Something's got to push you forward and something's got to keep you going. But I do remember becoming very happy with how quick I could do this too. Like, say, these would take me a fraction of the time that these stiff ones would take me, and you can see the progress. Like, can you see that, or is it just me? I just felt so much more confident with the pencil, especially because it was not a medium I was used to using. And these were super fun. So we got to draw some faces that weren't just human, and I was loving it. And my mum was doing this at the same time as me, so she's also got all these drawings in one of her sketchbook in her style. Again, that, like, being really happy with some of these drawings and how quickly I could just whack them out. The simple ones seemed to be more challenging. The ones that had more distinct features I could capture, but with simple looking portraits, I couldn't pick what was distinct to that face, and it made it a lot more difficult to find something to resemble them to. I remember also choosing my own references at this point because the Pinterest list of portraits was getting really repetitive, and if anything it had some doubles, so I chose some sculptures. So these two are sculptures, and so is this one. That one is Jesus, so more sculptures here. And I think that's done. Yeah, so 100 face challenge, the 23rd of the 5th, 2019. Okay, so we've gone into 2019 here, to the 30th of the 5th, 2019. So that was really fun, and I enjoyed doing that along with my mum. I remember when I finished too, I was like, so I can draw faces now, right? Wrong. I was not happy with this at all. I was like, it was all for nothing. I wasted every second trying to get that challenge done. It didn't help me at all.
Anger.
Much angst. A song. And then just absolute dissatisfaction because what the hell, I just could not draw faces after that challenge, and I was like, come on. So very unhappy characters. The bendy back ones. A pink page. Wow. Insane for a difference. A bit of color, a bit of pink. I was pushing my boundaries here, don't you worry. Thank boring lectures for creative drawings. Yeah, that was done during one of the lectures. I believe this was the art one. Yeah, so in 2019, the second year, that's when I was doing my creative art course. Again, this was another challenge with my mum. Me and mum would always do these challenges. And here we have something a bit more stylized. I would say this, if I was to do basic lines with just a fine line pen, this is the sort of thing that I would tend towards, and the color just being really plain as well. Nothing too crazy. Fighter girl, absolutely obsessed. Like, I would train every single night, 2 hours a night. I still sort of do. I'm still obsessed many years later. Again, another gym person. I love ripping things out and then sticking them into sketchbooks too. So this is where it started, and as you saw at the beginning, it gets a lot worse. It does get a lot worse. I get way more comfortable with just sticking things from other places that I drew. on different papers. This is where I tested the Prismacolors a long time later, but I just wanted to get them all down on this paper and probably experiment with them a little bit more, because as you can see, I did get into color a bit more as well. A bit more sculpture. This is the sculpture of Hypnos, but I added a body to him. Again, just trying to understand the body, the moves, the anatomy. Still wishing that I had the whole portrait game. I don't know what that is. Yeah, so here we go. Here we delve into just the Greek influence, I guess. It just becomes very prevalent with time. It's something that I want to start expressing at the age of 19. This was from a very famous painting that I do not remember the name of. I think maybe even Donatella in the blue. God, I'm really pulling at straws here. I believe this was my first haul in a sketchbook, which then I've become obsessed with this, as you will see. And yeah, there's that same character, but now she's saying hi, bish. I thought that was so much fun. I still do. I guess there's a smile on my face, so it must have worked. Again, just really trying to understand the extent that I can take the Prismacolors to and incorporating pen with them. So choosing something that I was comfortable with, which was the pen, to then going and using the Prismacolors, which were new and fun. And here come those Greek sculptures again. So that one's Leonidas. No, what am I saying, Leonidas? It's bloody Hercules. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. More statues. This one was just a brain fart. I just wanted to create a creature out of my comfort zone. I'm normally, drawing faces. So this was out of my comfort zone, but so much fun. Again, trying to use the pen and the Prismacolors at the same time, experimenting. I would say this is where it got real good. Like, I was very happy with this drawing, and I posted this on my Instagram. I was that happy with it. I did not post many of these drawings to Instagram. At the time, I believe I had a personal account, so it's just for the selfies and to look good on the socials. But this is where I started kind of posting my art. Going back to that more simple style with color. Again, you can probably see a big difference between this with my first sketchbook, where I was really strongly relying on Pinterest stuff. So none of the things from this book were really about that. It was just more about exploring my style instead of trying to learn a style, which was fun. That's why I had so much fun with this book. Like, again, there was no reference for this. This is just purely out of my imagination. And here's another cutout. I did not draw this. What does this say? Probably something not nice. Again, trying to do that character design. I tried so hard. I really wanted to be one of those people that can create a character that you can keep reusing and they'll look the same, but I could never make the same person look the same. Like, even her, I could not then achieve it again here. Like, she looks very different, but I've got to say I was very happy with these booty poses and with those hips. I do remember liking those. Another cutout. Oh my god. Aliens, aliens, aliens. Damn. Demi was definitely obsessed. Demi is definitely still obsessed. I hated this with my whole life. I just did not like this at all. I tried to do the style that everyone does with it. I really tried to just mimic people, I guess, with the Prismacolors, but I could not do it. It just wasn't working for me, because this is just the pencils by themselves. I couldn't get them to blend, and I don't know. I just remember being unhappy. Looking back on it, I think it looks fine, but I did prefer this sort of style. Oh, look at these characters. Aren't they beautiful? Look at that beautiful face. What is this saying? Same face syndrome. Okay, so I was very unhappy. And I think I was unhappy because all my characters look the same. And then I drew more faces. So as you can see, guys, I was fighting myself. I wanted to improve. This was the process of it, and there's a lot of self-hating here. There's a lot of negativity, but it's what got me to the level that I am today. And I don't think I would be here if I didn't have that drilled within me, that I'm like, you need to be a bit better than this. You can do better than this. This one was a Michelangelo statue, I think. Practicing, more practicing, and then defaulting. How are we enjoying this sketchbook so far? What are our thoughts? I feel a bit exposed here. I didn't expect emo Demi to come across so strongly, so strongly. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I wasn't that young either. If I was at uni, oh my god, there's no excuse here. I do remember what happened on the next page. This was me doing my first YouTube video ever. It doesn't exist on the internet anymore, but I did create this for a YouTube video. And I was very proud of it because one person followed me as a result of this video. And I thought, this is it. I'm going to take over the YouTube world. And then that was it. I quit for like, I think 2019. 2 years after that. This is where I bought a Posca pen, the white. Again, just playing with mediums. This time I believe this was drawing paper underneath that was meant to be drawing paper. I forget what they're called. They're that one that everyone uses, the colored paper, and I did find that it was easier to achieve that level of coloring that I had seen like on Instagram on this paper instead of my sketchbook paper. And again, I tried to do those blends here, staying strong to my style though. Staying strong. I don't. I was pushing myself. These are from references. Aurora was the singer, and this was a Spartan. Again, I think a challenge with my mum to draw the same image. This one I remember drawing at, I think I was at a medical center, so I was about to see a doctor, and this was the back of like, I wish I could see, I think it's just a self-help pamphlet that I drew on the back of it, of course. What does this say? You cannot eat money. But yeah, and looking back on these, I remember these particular pages being some of my favorite. It's just something about looking at my sketchbook and seeing these really harsh lines that I find very aesthetically pleasing. I can't explain it, but yeah, that's why I kept doing it, I guess. I love how dark you can get with the pen. Still obsessed, listen to me. I'm smiling like an idiot because of a ballpoint pen, but the joy it has brought me over the last few years. A mushroom person. I don't know what that is. Bit more practicing. Didn't know what for, just knew I had to practice. Now this was fun. This was pretty fun. I think this was from a reference. I can't remember exactly, but yes. Bought a stamp at this time. I had to try it out. My Light Unseen, Impending Doom is a very good song that I recommend you go and listen to right now. Right now. I love that song. Some simple lines, simple colors, trying something new, something different, and then yeah, just going back to default. Consume the now Nani Desk. Oh, Nani Deska. Okay, Japanese. Oh, I was watching a lot of anime at this time. So Nani Deska. Pop of blue color. So many song lyrics. So many song lyrics all the time. Anatomy. And thumbnails again. I just found these so satisfying. Entwining snakes. Here's that portal to the other world again, which was so much fun to do. I remember being quite proud of this drawing. I really liked it. Except for the mushrooms. I didn't like how they didn't mold into her hand the way I wanted them to, but I was happy with the pinks. And the last page, we finished off with something I was obviously so comfortable with doing by this point, which is a landscape. I just like the solitude that these sort of depictions of landscapes created for me, and there is a city up here too, but just, you know, above the natural world and the wilderness. So that is it for this one. Let's just check the date that this ended. Let me quickly find one. So 2019, and I started it in 2018. Okay, it took around a year to finish this book. I hope you guys enjoyed this sketchbook tour. I've got to say, I've had a lot of fun looking through it. I do find a lot of it cringy, but also just innocent, and I hope it inspires you to start a sketchbook too if you haven't. If you do, just keep it up. I'm telling you, it's so handy. Like, for doing what I do now, the sort of drawings that I have in the background here, it's just such an important tool that I can't recommend enough. So if you did enjoy this video, please let me know so then we can do the next sketchbook tour, which is also a really crazy one. As you can see, this is where they start to get pregnant, but this one did not have the bust, which I was really happy about. This one had like an elastic band. But guys, this is another sketchbook that's full of crazy stuff. So if you want more of that stuff, please let me know. I'm happy to share it with you. And until then, guys, I will see you next time. These are really fun to do, so I don't know. Please let me know if you like them. I need to know. I need that validation. But yeah, until then, guys, I will see you next time.